All right. What is up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to another Saturday night tech fight. I believe the last time we had one of these, I wasn't a father. That's how long it's been since we've had one. But we're here tonight and we're going to have us a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, it feels good to be back. That's how I'm going to start this off. It feels good to be back. I have two people debating tonight. Okay. I have two people debating tonight. One of them is a YouTuber that I have followed for quite some time. Before I don't want to say before I started YouTube, but I followed him for quite a while. I've always enjoyed his content. And another one is a YouTuber that I recently discovered. I discovered this guy's channel. I want to say last year around the S23 Ultra is when I discovered his channel. And um, just to call it what it is. Instantly fell in love. If you can catch me in the first few minutes of your video, you have me. And I love this guy's content. And I also have one of my favorite people of all time in backstage returning to judge this weekend. We have a little bit of a different scheme with the judging, but I think you guys are going to enjoy what we've got going on. So first off, I'm going to bring on board my man, thy Lord, the one and only Scott Peachy.
Welcome, welcome. Normally, I would actually rock my mohawk, but I got to tell you, I took Saturday nights. I'm gonna let my hair down a little bit and throw this Ohio State hat on. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm excited to be back.
And
let me tell you right now, I'm gonna need him to bring it because when you mentioned the Vision Pro, oh boy, I'll tell you what, I got some opinions on the VR AR thing. You better sell me. You better sell me.
This should be interesting.
So, better sell me.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring in our first contender, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up real quick before I do, because if you guys will notice, the description of the stream tonight is not finalized, and that is because for some reason my computer did not want to act right tonight, but it's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this first person that we have tonight, before we go any further, my man, technically T, with the $50 super chat. I'm in the city drinking for the night, so I'm going to miss it, but love to see these back. T, thank you for the super chat, my boy, and also be safe out there and enjoy your evening, sir. Whoever T is drinking with, I feel sorry for you because T does not know how to tell people he doesn't know how to chill. So we're going to move past that, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in the first contender of the evening. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this guy has been on a tech fight before. Unfortunately, he literally devastated Scott. Okay.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm over here catching strays. I didn't even do anything.
I'm sorry, Scott. I got to call a spade a spade. He devastated you. Okay? Destroyed you.
Just straight curb stomp. Just like
no contest. But he has a massive following on YouTube, on Twitter. He has some amazing content. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kevin the Tech Ninja in the building tonight. What's going on, Kevin?
What up, though, man? Hey, doing good. Appreciate the intro. And Scott, I didn't stomp on you, bro. I actually just kind of brushed you to the side and kept it moving. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So I'm ready for this thing, man. Let's do it.
All right. So now we have our next contender making his first appearance on a Saturday Night Tech Fight. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this gentleman, okay, he's on his way to 100K. I truly do feel like he's going to hit 100K this year. He makes some amazing content. He has one of the best sponsors. Okay. He's got one of the best sponsors that you could ever have for a channel. Ladies and gentlemen, the man sponsored by nobody, Mr. Dayo, is in the building. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Happy to be here.
Right. I try to do a little sway in the morning introduction, but you know, I don't know how to do it.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh man.
But the sponsor got my back today.
Oh man, that's all that matters. So here's how we're gonna do this, everybody. Normally, you guys know we have 3 judges. Unfortunately, last minute things do happen. Our judge that was gonna go be on, I can't talk. Our judge that was gonna be on with us tonight, Miss Adrienne L. A lot of you guys remember her. Is unfortunately experiencing a power outage. If she is able to join the stream, I will gladly gladly bring her in. But you guys get a little bit of a treat tonight. I will be judging in her place. So you'll have me and Scott as your judges for the evening. However, you guys are used to seeing 3 judges on the stream, and that is because our 3rd judge is none other than you, the chat. So as we finish each of these rounds of questions, everybody in the chat will have to type the name of the person that they feel like won the round. And me and Scott will make a proper assessment, no bias, on who we think the chat chose to win. Okay, so guys, you know what your assignment is. Tonight's topic is the Apple Vision Pro. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for y'all. I've been screaming with my daughter today, having fun, having daddy daughter day. So if my voice is a little gone, I'm sorry. But tonight's topic is the Apple Vision Pro. We are going to be having 5 questions, all highlighted on the Apple Vision Pro. With one of them being a little bit different. I got a question about AI in there because I was asked if I'd throw one in. So got a little AI question for you guys. But everything tonight is Apple focused, Apple related. The way it's going to work, gentlemen, okay? You guys will have 5 rounds for each question. Each one of you will be given 1 minute to argue your side. And then there will be a 2-minute back and forth. This is where audio comes into play. If your audio is not that good, if you are overpowered by your opponent, I can't do anything for you. So if you guys are going back and forth, make sure you keep that in mind. You guys will have 2 minutes to argue your point. I need everyone in the chat to make sure that you are paying attention and watching, because when it comes time to vote for who you think won that round, I need you guys to be on cue. Also, we have one other bonus tonight for the chat, and this is going to be something that I'm going to be doing moving forward with every tech fight. So for everybody who's paying attention right now, to all 32 of you watching, whoever at the end of the stream, whoever gives an answer in the chat to a question that me and Scott both feel is the best, you will receive a $25 Amazon gift card. So that will be from me to someone in the chat. You will receive a $25 Amazon gift card. We will pick one person and one answer only for the winner of the stream. And as far as Dayo and Kevin is concerned, the winner tonight will be receiving a $150 cash prize. And that is courtesy of myself, Jefe Reviews, and Twisted Tech who is on Twitter, also known as Jason C. So we can thank El Jefe, and we can also thank Mr. Jason C for contributing to the cash prize of the evening. With that being said, gentlemen, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Ready.
Okay. So I think it's only fair, since Kevin has made an appearance on a tech fight before. Dayo, we're gonna let you choose which side of the question you want to start with. Okay. Since you're the new guy, we're gonna let you choose what side of the question you're gonna start with. First question we're gonna go with is there a future where the Vision Pro replaces the iPhone, Mac, and other Apple devices? Is there a future where the Vision Pro replaces the iPhone, Mac, and other devices? So what side of this argument do you feel? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So now comes the part where I get to make you big. Pause. Oh, I removed him, not make him big. Okay. And I'm going to set my timer, and you have 1 minute, sir, to start your argument, and your time starts now.
I think it's a little crazy not to think that in the inevitable future that the Apple Vision Pro is going to replace the various products that Apple has right now, because the Apple Vision Pro, if you think about it, it's basically an iPad attached to your face, but it has the M processor that's already in the MacBooks. It has all the photos, or not all the photos, but all the apps that are already on the iPhone. And the ability to have multiple screens on the go. And you also have to envision that the Apple Vision Pro isn't just going to be the headset that we see today. In the future, it might be smaller, might be glasses. And if it's able to get in a smaller form factor, hypothetically, if it's like contact lenses, I would say it would be much more convenient to have that in my, field of view, rather than, pulling out my phone, pulling out my MacBook. So I would say in the inevitable future, the Apple Vision Pro would replace those three products.
All right. Kevin, you know your side of the argument, sir. Are you ready?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Your time starts now.
Yeah, so definitely the answer is no. It's pretty straightforward. Now definitely the Vision Pro is going to be much better, right? Like the implementation we're seeing it today. Yeah, of course it's going to get better over time. But for it to replace our phone, replace our MacBook, replace everything is the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life. First of all, AR and VR is the most solo experience in the world. You have a child, Mr. Host and MC. Can you imagine just watching the football game on a headset and your kids running around, jumping off stuff and hitting things? So that's one thing. And you can't talk about pass through and seeing that. It's a solo experience. Like, how many times have you been out with your friends and you look at your phone and something's good on your phone and you just say, hey, yo, check this out. And they gather around the phone to watch it. You can't gather around a VR headset, can't gather around any type of Vision Pro or anything like that. Now, you could say you could probably project an image and do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, nothing is going to replace that. That's going to be something that is a wearable. Now, it's going to get better. It's going to get more apps and all those things. But replacing a phone, no, that's not going to happen. It's not replacing that at all.
All right. So, gentlemen, you have 2 minutes to argue your points against each other. Scott, I hope you're listening. I see Scott has already brought back the peachy face. So, all right, guys, 2 minutes to argue your points. Your time starts now.
So I want to pose the question of, why is it that the headset has to always be some type of solo experience? What if it's able to connect to other headsets that people have, and it's almost as if a regular product, like everyone has an iPhone, everyone has a headset that they can connect to each other and see in like the AR VR world that they're in?
So you honestly think that we're going to live in a world where everyone's wearing a headset walking around, like the movie Wall-E? Like, is that what you truly expect? That's going to happen? Because the thing is, when you talk about wearables, that's something you're constantly having to wear. You know what I mean? A phone you put down when you're done using your phone. But if we're talking about wearable, that means that's something that's constantly being worn, and it's still a solo experience. So sure, yeah, you can share something to another person wearing a headset, but I don't want to live in a world that looks like everyone's wearing headsets and we're just standing around.
Well, I would counter the argument of a popular book, Fahrenheit 451, where there's a lot of dystopian futures of, people wearing earbuds that has, music playing or like communication. And now we're living in a world where everyone has earbuds, and it's a common thing that people have nowadays. So I would say, even though it might be a dystopian future like Wall-E, I think it's inevitable that the headset, as time goes on, supply is going to get cheaper. People are going to be able to have more accessibility towards it, that it's going to be an everyday product that's going to be almost like a necessity as a phone. So
necessity as a phone, but at the end of the day, the phone is still an optional thing. Yeah, it's necessity. Yeah, you have to use it. But as a society, we're actually looking at ways to limit screen time. We're looking, people want to get rid of their phones. So I have a hard time thinking in the future that people are going to want to wear something over their face constantly at all times. And that's the way you communicate. I really have a hard time thinking that is going to replace this device that we rely on so much every single day.
All right. Scott, I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let you do your thing. The first one, the first thing I have to say is this. This ain't for me. Judging ain't for me. I like hosting and leaving it at that. This judging ain't for me. But I'm here. Scott.
Oh boy, I'll tell you. Wait, do you want me to just give the answer, then we'll come back, or do you want me to give like a little flavor? How we want to do this? I'm
not gonna lie to you. I need time.
All right, I'll fill. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll fill. I got you. I'll tell you what, I was really leaning heaven, really super heavy, like when he talked about it. But then, Dayo, when you coming up bringing a Fahrenheit 451 reference, bro, what? Even that, I'm still leaning Kevin when it comes to the dystopian future, how he sold me on the argument of where that's going to be. There's one particular piece that I think both of you haven't hit on yet. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it could come up in the next questions, but there's a particular piece, a whole half of maybe the rest of the world that we haven't talked about if it were strapped to your face. I'm going to lean Kevin.
Okay. While I am going to give my reasons for the direction that I lean, I would also like to go ahead and prompt the chat. You guys have approximately 1 minute. I have a timer here. Chat, put down in the comments, who do you think won this round? Put Kevin or put Dayo? Starting now. Please do that now. That being said, all right. I ain't gonna lie to you. This sucks. This sucks.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not. It's not for the faint of heart. It is not. And God dang it, man. So I think for me personally, this is where I have to take the bias out of it. And it's the bias on how I see the Vision Pro. I personally, I like Dayo's argument. I do. I like Dayo's argument. I see the points of both sides. I do see the points in both sides, but I do like his argument because it just it feels like that is the direction it's going. Why would they put an M2 inside of a headset if they don't see it eventually replacing some of the computing that they have? But that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I gotta go with Kevin on this one though. Overall, it's a better argument. I'm sorry, Dayo. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. It's all good. Please don't hate me. All right. So, and I think the chat would agree with us on that as well. So now let's talk about why y'all mean mugging. Ain't nobody mean mugging. Stop it. All right. I didn't say the phone, Mims. Mims, if you have something to say, March 16th or March 30th, you can come on and argue it in the next one. Jackass. All right. So we're going to move on to the next question. Our next question of the evening is going to be, let's see, keeping it in line with what Apple should do with the Vision Pro, which that's pretty much the whole thing tonight. Next question is a very, very simple one and a very easy one. Should Apple do annual releases of the Vision Pro? This question comes from the lineup of how they do their other products. We have an iPhone release every year. Seems like we have a Mac release every year. I feel like the only iPhone or Apple devices that don't get a new release every year is like the headphones or the iPads. So the question is, should Apple do annual releases of the Vision Pro? Kevin, since you won the last round, what direction will you lean, sir?
Let's go yes.
Okay. All right. So that you will argue in the direction of no, they should not. Kevin, you have 1 minute and your time will start now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the answer is going to be yes, just because that's what Apple does. Apple has been a proven company that can make things over the years better and better with new technology, new advancements, new silicon, and things like that. Like I couldn't imagine that my MacBook every year can get a newer processor, but the thing that they're putting so much time and resources behind this headset, what they think is the future, is something that they're not updating when the latest and greatest in technology is coming out. Because you got to remember, not every single person is buying product every single year, right? Like, us tech nerds, we buy phones we buy phones every single year. But at the end of the day, many people are buying phones once every 2 to 3 years, right? So if there is something always coming out every single year, anytime someone's ready to hop on the bandwagon, they'll have an opportunity to do so because there's a brand new headset coming out. And as the prices come down, hopefully different versions of the headset will come out so you can find the one that's best for you with the latest technology when you're ready to enter the market of Vision Pro, whether it's Apple Vision Pro or Apple Vision Lite or Apple Vision Air.
All right. Are you ready to argue your side, sir?
No, not really, but I'll go.
All right. Your time starts now, sir. Bring the thunder.
I would say for now, the answer would be no, just because the product is so new and the platform is also so new that there's not much to show, especially in the sense that it seems like the Apple Vision Pro is like a dev kit. And if anything, it should be more of like a private press conference for developers until they actually flesh out the ecosystem. Maybe like a biannual release for now would be better. But for an annual release for a product that is just so far out of many people's reach, it doesn't really seem like it's going to capture what most people would want outside like the MacBooks, the AirPods, the iPhones, things like that, things that people are most likely going to buy year after year. So if they want to release like some press release for like the investors or the developers who are developing for it for like the next couple of years, that's fine. But for annual releases of the Vision Pro, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be that beneficial for Apple.
All right. Before we begin the next round, Trent, you got money. We know you got money. You can buy it every year. Okay. Don't play that game with us, Trent. All right. Now, gentlemen, you guys have 2 minutes. Your time starts now.
So something you mentioned, bro. You said that people are buying Macs year over year, right? Like year after year, people are buying Macs, right?
It's a pretty common laptop that people have. Yeah, pretty accessible.
Okay. So they're saying that, and I'm looking up from Apple's website. Actually, they said a Mac's lifespan on average is around 7 years. If the Apple Vision Pro is such a new segment, a new market, I would imagine the advancements of Apple Vision Pro would be so rapid and so fast. I wouldn't want to wait 2 years or 3 years to see the next thing, even if I'm not buying the same one every single year. But as the advancements happen, because like the lifespan of a tech product, like life cycle, right? You get a new product and then advancement, then refinement. This long time of refinement. As advancements are happening, I want to see the latest and greatest that's always coming out. Even if I'm not buying it, when someone is ready to buy one, they should have the latest and greatest when they're ready to get into this market. And I think as this is such a new segment and a new market, there's going to be so much new tech that comes out.
I mean, that is a good argument. I can't even deny that. But
don't you dare.
The annual releases just don't seem to be a thing for the Apple Vision Pro, just because, like I said before, it's $3,500 and it's just not accessible for a lot of people. And if it's something that people want to have, actually, I really don't got anything. I'm just gonna chalk it up right here.
I was gonna say, yeah, if it's not accessible, then every single year, hopefully the price continues to come down as supply gets better. Yeah, that's my argument to that.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Dayo. Damn.
It's tough.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's already done. Yeah. All right. So, I mean,
you want to tell them about the first rule? The first rule that you don't do.
Yeah.
You can't join the other side.
Never agree.
No.
Never agree. Agreement is like automatic surrender. So,
you want to go? You want to go first, Mike?
I mean, I actually was leaning into Dayo's argument.
I was too. I was right there.
And then he just comes out of nowhere and he's like,
as soon as she's like, yeah, you're right, I can't argue that. I was like, no, you can't surrender. That's rule 1 of Fight Club.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I gotta say, had it not been for that, I was definitely leaning towards Dayo.
100%. Yeah,
but it is what it is. It is. Don't do it next round. Don't do it again. Just fight to the end, damn it. All right, so let's see. No one gonna slap with the white glove. If I had one, I would. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next question. Now, this is where we're gonna mix in a little bit of the AI. We're gonna ask this question and get it over with for the middle of the stream. Should Apple lean more into AI in the coming releases of the iPhone? This question is one that I feel like a lot of people have asked since Apple seems to really not be focusing on Siri. The iPhone seems to only come with improvements to the camera. What did we get last year? Titanium was the big thing. Not really a lot that came in regards to AI. So, should Apple lean more into AI in the coming releases of the iPhone? Kevin, as the winner of that last round again, what do you choose?
I'm going to choose yes.
Okay. All right. Your time starts now.
Okay. So first of all, Apple is leaning into AI. What you're referring to is generative AI. There's so much AI that is in any single phone that we have. Every time you take a picture, it is using AI to determine how to light the scene, how to grab the background, how to adjust the skin tones, portrait mode, tons of AI that happens. There's actually, I think it's over 1,500 data points is being used at the same time for AI when it's actually using portrait mode. Now, when we talk about generative AI, how should it be used on the iPhone? Definitely, it should always be used. Number one, we are going into a space now where generative AI is with us. It's always going to be with us no matter what. So, for example, on your iPhone, let's say you're sending a text, whatever, right? You text that person, they text back something about a time, and then right there, you click the time, it goes to your calendar. So that's AI right there too. Now, the way Samsung is doing it, whatever, that's cute, that's fun. But as far as finding a practical use for it, there definitely has to be one out there, but there hasn't been that aha moment yet. And maybe Apple could be the one that does it. So yeah, you got to lean into it, especially because they spent millions of dollars acquiring AI companies.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there before I start the next segment. As a lover of the Galaxy S24 Ultra, he just called that shit cute. He said what Samsung is doing is cute. Like
it's cute.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm kind of looking at my phone sideways now. Dayo, it's your turn.
Hey.
Sir. You ready?
All right.
1 minute, sir. You got this.
So Apple shouldn't lean into AI, and I think we first need to clarify what the term AI is. I think you did a good job doing generative AI versus regular AI, but I feel like right now it's just a whole bunch of marketing lingo because the things we see right now on our phones, outside of like the Galaxy phones, the Google Pixel, a lot of that stuff isn't really AI. It's just stuff that's done from like other servers and whatnot. So when people are talking about, Siri's not as smart as, Google Assistant or Amazon's thing, right? I think it's just because Apple doesn't really see a, big profit margin on it. And if we start talking about generative AI, you also have to account that is a very expensive server that you have to run because they're doing like billions upon billions of parameters to, give you the proper answer. And I just don't think Apple sees it as a, like I said, a profit margin for them for, the iPhone, just because right now it just seems like gimmicks that, hey, you can do this, translate and whatnot, but, you can do Google Translate. You can use all these other features that have been out there. Is that really AI?
Real quick. You guys have 2 minutes. You can continue now.
Yeah, like I said, I think this whole AI thing that's going on right now, I think it's a whole bunch of marketing lingo. Samsung event, they said, hey, we have this Google Translate that we can do on device. Google Translate has been out for over a decade. Is that really AI? I'd argue no. So going back to the iPhone, like I said, Siri is pretty dumb, but she does stuff really well. Really, not really well, but, she does stuff if you ask her in a certain way. And I think that just showcases that Apple really doesn't care about, this whole assistant thing that's on your phone.
So, yeah. Not trying to cut you off, man, but did you just say how something was so expensive when it comes to Apple, how it's going to be expensive to run? That the biggest company in the history of man, the company that has more money than GDPs of some country. You think they're worried about an expense when it comes to something? Here's the thing, though.
For
Apple is no longer
investors,
making
yeah,
money.
for sure.
No, Apple is no longer making money on hardware anymore, right? They're software as a service company, right? They make so much money on all their services. Like, why not use AI to wrap those services on together? You know, you could text a buddy or whatever and say, like, man, I'm so bored today. You know, man, have you seen this new show on Apple TV? And next time you go to Apple TV, that show is on there. Like, that is using AI. It's not generative AI, but it's using predictive AI to sell you stuff. At the end of the day, Apple wants to sell you things, right? And I think they can use AI to sell you the best stuff, bringing the stuff right in front of your face to make it easy to purchase, make it easy to buy.
I mean, I would say look at Apple right now. Look at Siri right now. All these years, how come Siri hasn't been able? All the money that Apple has, all the money they spend in R&D, why isn't Siri as smart as Google Assistant? And I would say it's because of Google Cloud. Google has all of these servers that can make Google Assistant or Gemini smart. Samsung's the same way, right? They're not really using anything themselves. They're just, offloading the stuff over to Samsung. I don't think Apple has those servers that Google has or Microsoft has, and I don't think they want to spend money for their competitors to do that for their iPhone. I think Siri's fine the way she is.
Yeah, so I think you're grossly underestimating what the capabilities of what Apple could do. Just because Siri is terrible right now doesn't mean that there's going to be.
2 minutes is over. 2 minutes is over. 2 minutes.
All right. Okay.
You're first. You're first, not me. You're first.
I mean this with the utmost respect, but F you and your thoughts on life. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and go to the chat. Start putting in the chat. Start commenting who you have for that round, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you have for that round? Put it in the chat. Lee, I think that there were some points made on both that made sense. I also think there were some points made on both that borderline did not make sense. But for the sake of argument and for the sake of the delivery, I'm going to go with Dayo on this one. That's where I'm going to go on this one. So, Scott, it's your turn now. You can't run from it, and I'm going to make you big.
Damn it. I'm gonna channel my inner Adrian right here.
Oh, shit.
Here we go. You know what I'm going to do? I want the show to keep going. I'm going to pick Dayo.
Okay.
I ain't even mad about it.
So now we have 2 rounds to 1 because it looks like the chat is also in favor of Dayo. So that means we are 2-1. Kevin is in the lead. We now have 2 rounds remaining, everybody. So now we're going to go ahead and go to a question that, let's see. This one is, these next 2 questions are going to kind of be a little similar. So I'm going to go with this one first. Let's see. We asked this question backstage, guys, so you guys are aware of this one. So, Dayo, you get to argue this one. Decide which side you want to argue. Is price the main factor holding back the Vision Pro from being more massively adopted? Repeat it for the chat. Is price the main factor holding back the Vision Pro from being more massively adopted? Before I give the floor to Mr. Dayo, I want to make sure you guys remember, chat, I am looking for an answer from someone to win a $25 Amazon gift card. I have only seen one person really answering a question. So if you want a $25 Amazon gift card, just hand it to you. Put your answers in the chat. Me and Scott are looking for it. But that being said, Dayo, what side of this argument do you have, sir?
I want the side yes.
Okay, so he will decide yes. That being said, you have 1 minute, sir. Your time will start now.
All right. I'd say as a person who bought this product and has shown it to many of his friends, the answer has been consistent that as cool as the device is, it's just way too expensive. And it seems with the way Apple is marketing it, yes, it's productivity, but there's a lot of emphasis on entertainment. And $3,500 for entertainment is just way too much for a product that doesn't offer much other than having your screen be really big. I've already made the argument on my reviews that, in terms of value, it's really not there yet, not simply because of the apps, but it's just, the first generation. Apple's just trying to have this be out, see what the reception is, and then kind of build off from there. So for $3,500, if you're expecting me to say that this is a better setup than, my living room, my desk setup, I don't think I'd be able to abandon all that for $3,500 on a product that's not even fully fleshed out yet.
All right. Kevin, you know your side. Are you ready?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So no, money is not the main thing that's holding it back. What's actually holding it back is that there's no functionality that is actually inherently better compared to what we have today. Like, you can look at the thing and have a big monitor in front of you and try to edit a video. Sure. It is a big beta test product right now. Like, we're just trying to figure out what the heck it is. And I think if there was that home run app, or that there was that lifestyle, that something just became inherently better, people are going to spend the money. People will find a way to dig deep in their pockets and spend the money on what they want. I see a bunch of $6,000 Louis Vuitton bags walking around. Not gonna lie, not many people got $6,000 like that. People will always find a way to spend money to buy things that's practical. Anytime someone asks a question about Vision Pro, no one has an answer. Like, what am I going to use this for? What is the best thing that is going to be? Like, what is my life going to be? Now, if there was an app or there one feature that you can't do anywhere else, and it changes everything, people are definitely going to spend the money on getting it, because people are going to spend money on what they need and what they want. People will find the money every single time.
I think the key thing here is is the main factor massively being adopted. Yes, there's Louis Vuitton bags out in the wild, but you also have to account that there's a lot of counterfeits out there for Louis Vuitton and other luxury products. But when you want to recommend a product to someone, the first thing that is the deciding factor for them is price. Like, why isn't the iPhone Pro model the most sold one? It's the most expensive iPhone. Most people can't afford that. They just want an iPhone. So they'll just get the regular, iPhone 15 over the 15 Pro Max, even though it is the most expensive one.
But do you remember years ago when phones were only $200 to $300 because you're going through carriers, and now we are paying $800 for a phone out of pocket, and that's considered a budget phone now. People will always find a reason to spend money on something that inherently makes their life better. Vision Pro does not make your life better, does not make your life easier. It doesn't do anything for you. And once again, the prices of cars have gone up tremendously. Imagine buying a truck for less than 50 grand. You can't do it now, but people are going to find a way to do it. This house that I live in right now was $80,000 years ago. I bought this house. It was not $80,000. People are always going to find a way to spend the money on things they have to spend money on. And there's no reason you have to have a Vision Pro. So that's why they're not spending the money. It'll be massively adopted if there was a reason to make your life better. If we got rid of cell phones and all we had was Vision Pros, people are going to spend the money, $3,500, to make it massively adopted. That's the only way you can communicate. But that's not going to happen.
The Ford, what's the model? The King Ranch or whatever it's called, the Raptor from Ford. That is the most expensive Ford product, but that's not the most common truck that people buy. People buy used trucks, and they also buy the most entry-level model just because that's what they can afford. So to say that the Apple Vision Pro is going to be massively adopted, not because of the price, I think it's kind of crazy, because $3,500 as an accessory, not as something that you would use for long durations over your iPhone or your Mac, that just seems kind of crazy to me.
The number one selling truck for the past 40 years is the F-150. F-150 is not the cheapest truck, but the F-150 is the best truck, and it actually enhances your daily activity, the way you use it. People find the money to do it, and the F-150 has gone up in price.
Is the best-selling truck, but it's not the top trim. Is not the best-selling.
But it's not the cheapest truck either, though. It's definitely not the cheapest truck.
That's like saying that the Apple Vision Pro is going to be. It's not, the barrier to entry just because it's $3,500. If there was a cheaper Apple Vision Pro, I guarantee you more people would buy that over the Apple Vision Pro. If it was $3,000, if there is any product that is below, the price tag of the top end model, most people are going to go for that mid-tier or entry-level model just to say that they have one.
But we're talking about what's happening today, and today price is not the main factor. It's functionality.
Adopted.
Damn, because it don't do anything.
Damn it, man.
God. Why do you do this, dog? Why do you bring me out of retirement all the time? Jesus.
Oh, it's fun because the next question is going to kind of follow right behind this one.
Oh, God bless. All right, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. It was Kevin by a lot for a while, and then Dayo, you almost flipped me at the end. where you were going with that last 10 seconds. If you had more time, I think you might have flipped me, but I'm going Kevin.
That's why I cut him off.
And the crazy thing is that I'm going Dayo for that exact reason.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. There you go.
Up to the chat. Chat. Who do you guys have for this one? I need everybody to please put who you have for this one in the chat, because the next question will decide the winner of the tech fight, unless it's a resounding lean towards Kevin. But let's see. Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3. Drew. Okay, 1, 2. So far, it's a little even. God almighty. So far, it's a little even.
You can't say tie. Come on, Bradley. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to pick one, bro.
Bradley, get out of here. Get out of here, man. We don't do ties here, okay? Let's see.
I think the chat.
It's Dayo.
Yeah.
The chat says Dayo.
Okay. All right. So that means we're down to our last question. So let me zoom out real quick. Zoom myself out. I had to zoom in for that one because that was good. I gave you guys 30 extra seconds on that one. That was good. All right. Our last question. Okay. Our last question. Following the question of, is price the main factor holding back the Vision Pro from being more massively adopted? Should Apple offer a second version of the Vision Pro priced near the MetaQuest? Should Apple offer a second version of the Vision Pro priced near the MetaQuest? This question for me comes in line with, let's just say Apple decided to say, hey, we're going to give you a basic one. There's no Zeiss optimized lenses in it. There's no M processor in it. It's just an A18 Bionic. And, it doesn't do half of the stuff that the top of the line does, but it's there. Should Apple offer a second version of the Vision Pro? Dayo, since you won that one, what side of the argument will you choose going into this last round, sir?
Absolutely.
The smile on his face, but Kevin's poker face is serious. I've seen people in the chat talking about it. Kevin's poker face is serious. All right, gentlemen, with this being the last round, you guys are going to get your 1 minute apiece, and then I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes when you do your back and forth. But for this one, we're just going to let it ride. So you got 1 minute to make the best argument you can apiece, and then after that, it's balls to the wall, you guys. So that being said, sir, your time starts now.
What is the most iconic brand in the world? It's Apple. And if Apple were to release another Vision headset that's priced near the MetaQuest, that's more accessible to most people, people are going to buy it over MetaQuest. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Meta is already, I can't say it on stream, but let's just say people are not that big of a fan of Meta overall in their services. And Apple, as a company who strives themselves on being this particular lifestyle company, but also being more on the high end, people are going to go for that over the MetaQuest any day of the week. And on top of that, especially here in the US where Apple's, pretty popular, I think it's almost a no-brainer that Apple's going to come out with, an Apple Vision. Maybe it's not a Pro model. Maybe it's just a regular Apple Vision SE model like we've seen with the Apple Watch series. But if people have an easier, or if the barrier to entry is much lower to get into over a competitor, I feel like Apple has that loyal fan base that's just always going to go with them, even if it's more expensive.
All right. You did have a few seconds left, but we're going to go ahead and take that and add it to our last round. Kevin, you've got your minute. Are you ready, sir?
You don't have to get ready if you're born ready.
See, this is what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Last minute. Let's go.
Okay. Look, people will buy it over the MetaQuest. I'm not going to lie. But this product is actually more of a lifestyle. The MetaQuest is a game. It's a toy. It's the Apple Vision Pro is made to capture your world, capture your life, and get stuff done, get work done. It's not designed for games. Leave the toys, leave the games over here. This is real life. This is actually doing things. What features would you remove to make it more accessible? What would you take out of it to make it more affordable? People already complaining that they don't know what to do with it. There's not enough going on. Why would you take out hardware on this thing? Yes, the price will come down, but you don't change your price to the competition. It's like saying Lamborghini is too expensive, so let's make it the price of a Hyundai. You're not going to do that. Let Lamborghini be Lamborghini. Let Hyundai be Hyundai. Let MetaQuest be MetaQuest. Over there, all the toys. Let Apple Vision Pro be Apple Vision Pro. Because Apple's main idea of Apple Vision Pro is the next generation of spatial computing. MetaQuest ain't talking about that. MetaQuest is talking about playing games with Beat Saber. We ain't Beat Saber.
Apple's entire product stack has multiple options for people to get into their ecosystem. So Apple Watch has SE, the regular series. Even when the AirPods first came out, people were saying they're expensive. Yes. But as time has gone on, there's a Pro model, there's a regular generation. Even the HomePod, as crazy as it sounds, there is a HomePod Mini just so people have access to the Apple ecosystem. So I think it's inevitable that Apple is going to make a cheaper version because you can't really develop an ecosystem without a user base. And if you have a product that's more accessible at a cheaper price, you can build that ecosystem. It's going to be more acceptable for most people.
Sure, the price should definitely come down, but making a cheaper version, that is the concern. Once again, is Lambo going to make a much cheaper version to grab the people that are buying Hyundais? No, Apple Vision Pro is designed for certain tasks and certain things. It is not designed to be gaming. If I'm going to change my price to make it something that competes with a gaming device, which is not even in the realm of the same thing. This is an AR, VR spatial computing product that Apple is saying. For them to say that this is the product, you cannot charge less and make it the same price as something that is made for gaming that is nowhere near the same quality. They're not even in the same space, not even the same breadth. Don't let Mark Zuckerberg get you all hyped up about that. These two products are nothing the same. They're nothing alike, so they should not bring the price down to make it better than competition. Sure, as technology gets better, as products become cheaper, lower it to a better point, but don't make a cheaper version because of the competition. Never do that. Business 101.
I mean, look at the Samsung, the Buds. The Samsung Buds were not expensive, but the Samsung Buds were cheaper than the AirPods, and then Apple eventually saw that they need to capture another market because they know people are going to buy their product regardless if it has their name on it. So the regular AirPods came out, and look what's the best selling earbuds in the market over the competition.
I don't think Apple was looking at the Buds. I don't think Apple looks at competition that much. They do so much volume here in America. They're not even looking at the competition. They are that arrogant and they have that much blinders on. They're not even looking.
There's a non-pro model. Apple Watch first came out, it was very expensive. It was the Pro model. But as time has gone on, they realized that there needs to be an SE version. I mean, there's even an SE version of the iPhone. Like I said before, there is a HomePod, as crazy as it sounds. There is a HomePod Mini just so people have access to it. Is it more expensive than the Amazon Echo? Absolutely. But even though it's the price, people are still going. The
problem is the HomePod does nothing different than the Amazon Alexa. The Amazon Alexa does.
But it works
the Vision Pro. There's nothing like the Vision Pro though. There's nothing like the Vision Pro today. So why would you lower the price? Why would you lower the price if you have features and you do things and you have the specs, you have the micro OLED, like you have things that no one has. So you set the price. You set the market when you have the best hardware.
It's a statement piece by Apple for the first generation, just so people can get talking about it. But as years go on, they're going to make it cheaper. They don't need to have a souped up chip inside the Vision headset. They don't need to use
why not though
materials because they can leave.
Why not though?
Leave that for the Pro model. Leave that for the enthusiasts that are going to buy Apple products no matter what.
But why make a product that's not fully fledged? If this is the future of spatial computing for what Apple has said, this is going to take over our whole living room. You can't half bake it. You have to go full all in. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And that is Apple's mantra.
Right. People are saying that the Apple Vision Pro is an iPad on your head. There's an iPad Air, iPad Mini, iPad Pro.
Hold them out, Mike.
All right.
We get extra time?
Yeah. I gave you guys extra time. I did. I gave y'all like an extra 2 minutes because that was good. All right.
Yeah.
That was a good one to end it. That was a good one.
Let the chat go. Let the chat go first.
Yeah, chat. I want to know what the chat has. First off, while the chat is answering, since this is the last question, I'm going to go ahead and say a few things. First and foremost, this has got to be the most what are the Scott, like you said earlier backstage, you're not black. What are the old black folks say in the church? This has got to be the most polite, nasty tech fight we've had ever. Because there was a lot of I mean,
like
I get your point, but
yeah, like I hear you, and I'm gonna let you talk, and you talk, but now I'm gonna disagree with you politely, but I'm gonna disagree with you.
Yeah, and the hat you wore last Sunday looks ugly. Yeah, the hat you wore last Sunday looks ugly, and the pastor don't like you. But anyway, let's see who we got in the chat. All right, I'm gonna start throwing it up here as it comes across. We got Kevin. Jesus Christ, Kevin. There you go, Trent. Trent said Dayo. We got something different. We got Kevin, and we got it was a fancy. All right. For whatever reason, my camera was fully charged when I started, but now it wants to tell me that it's not. So I'm just gonna turn my camera off. Scott, it looks like the chat has chosen Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you have? This is the last round. There's no need for us to drag this out.
I have Kevin as well.
Damn you.
Nice.
Who were you gonna go with?
Honestly, I like Dayo. I love your argument. Okay, I love your argument. But I was actually gonna go with Kevin, and the only reason why is because I felt like there were two different arguments being made. Like I felt like there was two different arguments being made. One in terms of making the second version cheaper, which is what I wanted to hear, but then the other one in regards to why that doesn't matter. And that is mostly what the question was should Apple offer a second version? So that being said, I'm going to turn this back on and see if it gives me enough battery to finish this out. That means that Kevin, the Tech Ninja, is the winner of our Saturday Night Tech Fight tonight. But it doesn't mean that it's all bad, because like I said, Dayo, just for being here, I have a $50 Amazon gift card for you as well. So that means go ahead.
Sorry, Dayo, you were a worthy adversary. Not gonna lie, you had me in the first half, man. So you were good, man. You made some great arguments, man, and very convincing, bro. It was tough, man. Appreciate you.
Way better than me.
It was fun.
So here's the thing. We're gonna go ahead and go to the chat first. I saw one person in the chat who was consistently responding to the questions and who was consistently posting their answers, and that is going to be Mr. Drew Lips. Mr. Drew Lips was posting his answer, and he was consistently offering very good answers. So that being said, Drew, I would like to extend an invite to you. I would like to have you on a tech fight if you would be interested, sir. Please shoot me a DM. I think you would be a great person to come on board. That being said, so here's how it's going to go down. Kevin, you're going to get $150 courtesy of myself, El Jefe Reviews, and you are also going to get a and Twisted Tech. So $150 will be coming to you from myself, El Jefe, and Twisted Tech. And Mr. Dayo, you will be receiving a $50 Amazon gift card from myself. And Mr. Drew Lips, my battery is exhausted again. So excuse the face that I made on camera. I'm just going to go ahead and stop this. My laptop is
exhausted battery.
Yeah, so I can't turn the webcam on. But that's pretty much where we're at, guys. So, Scott, closing thoughts before we get ready to wrap this thing on up.
You know, I got to tell you, it is hard as hell to be a judge. But boy,
God,
dude, I missed it. I missed it. I missed it, dude. Like, I think I saw Trenton talking about but who won, third place was my face, like basically the faces that I make. I do miss it. I'll tell you, I'm not saying anything, but I do miss kind of getting in the ring too. It's been a minute, but I definitely missed being the judge.
All right, so Scott Peachy and Drew Lips, March 16th.
Not what I said.
Scott Peachy and Drew Lips, March 16th, 2024.
100% not what I said.
That's not what you said, but that's what's happening. Dayo, would you like to come back as a judge?
I'd love to come back as a judge. This was pretty fun.
Dude, it's hard. Don't do that. Don't put that devil on you.
All right, you know what? Damn this. I'm gonna get the last juice out of this camera. Let me cut this thing back on real quick, man.
I'll judge you and Drew.
All right. So, look at Drew said, let's go. Drew said, let's go. Kevin, would you like to
do it? Yeah, do it. Do it.
Now let me, Drew, let me tell you. Drew, I love you to death. You're great. You're a great dude. You don't understand. I will talk over Jesus Christ himself. I will overtalk anyone with words that make no sense at all. No one will hear your argument because I will constantly keep talking.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do.
Wait a minute, Drew, you're a Michigan guy?
Oh,
he's in Michigan. Yeah, he's in Michigan.
That's going to make this even better.
No, you're a Michigan guy?
Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. March, it's either going to be the 16th or the 30th. I have plans on the 16th. So I need to coordinate those plans. But if Dayo, if you'd like to come back as a judge, and Scott and Drew, how about we shoot for one of those days, the 16th or the 30th?
Let's talk. Let's talk about that. I'm not going to be no Michigan man going to tell me something. Absolutely not. Hey, hell with that. Absolutely not.
And here we go. LB has said he'll throw in a $50 gift card to both participants. Now, LB, is that for tonight's tech fight or is that for next week's tech fight? I need to know before we get ready to wrap up. I can get up out of here. Scott said, be quiet, Jesus. Yes, he did. All right. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say while I have my, damn it. As soon as I got ready to say it, the camera died again. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it off this time. I'm going to say thank you guys both for being here. I greatly appreciate you guys giving me your time. As always, Saturday Night Tech Fights would not be what they are without the community. So thank you guys very much for being here this evening. Again, thank you to everybody who contributed to the prizes. Thank you to everybody who contributed to being here. Drew Lips, you will be receiving your Amazon gift card within the week. And Mr. Dayo and Mr. Kevin, you guys will be receiving your prizes as soon as tomorrow. I want to coordinate with everybody else. That being said, make sure you stay tuned to Twitter. Follow everybody you see here on Twitter. I'll have links to everybody's channels, Scott, Dayo, and Kevin, as well as their socials in the description. It will be updated tonight. And make sure you follow all of them, social media, all of that good stuff, guys. You know what the drill is. We will see you on the next Saturday Night Tech Fight. Thank you to the chat for being here as well. And yeah, guys, I don't have anything else. If anybody else has anything to say on their way out, I'm good.
Good job, guys.
All right, guys, from behind the veil, I will say I bid you adieu. Thank you, gentlemen, and we will end the stream. Evening, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everyone.